Good.
An Evening at the Movies is a proud member of the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network. Other shows in the network include Mass Debaters, The Sip List, Crushgasm, Love is Black, Men Are the Prize, Crime Rewind, and Literature Reapers. You can find out all about our shows and more at idnmtrpodcastnetwork.com. Happy listening. You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to An Evening at the Movies.
Hello, everybody, and pause for a second while I change the who can view this on Facebook, because Facebook is the fucking bomb. Welcome to everybody's favorite movie-based podcast. This is An Evening at the Movies. I am your older than I used to be co-host because there was a day yesterday, and we're going to be celebrating that today, and something else today as well. But I'm happy to be here. I'm 48 years old, and I'm feeling a little much like a grumpy old man. So, but we are here for fun. But before we can have some fun, we have to say hi to everybody's favorite co-host who is with us and is happy to be here. But I will say hi, co-host.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm Amanda, the co-hostess with the mostest. And yeah, I'm here. I'm excited to celebrate our anniversary and the birthday and drinking only my third glass of wine in this entire week. Very proud of myself. So yeah.
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I went Monday through Thursday with no alcohol, and then I had a couple of glasses last night, and now I'm having one or two today for the celebration. So yay!
Whoop, whoop. So we do have a celebration, but before we get to that, though, we also have a very special guest with us who disappeared off of the fucking screen, so he better still be within earshot. Otherwise, I will show up in Oklahoma and slap the hell out of his bald ass head.
Nope, I'm here. I realized that when Amanda hefted her not so mega pint of wine, that I was slacking.
Oh, yeah, no mega pint today.
You realize this is An Evening at the Movies, not the Sip List, right?
You realize I'm a grown ass man. I can have a fucking beer, right?
Exactly.
Well, you're a grown ass man, but
so tonight,
welcome back, Papa Palpatine.
We're having Checkmule from Rothschild Brewery, which is a Mexican hot chocolate stout.
Ooh.
You have my attention.
So as Nietzsche once said, fuck those guys.
Nice.
Fuck all the guys.
So yeah, sorry for stepping away there, but I felt it was
It's
necessary.
all good. So welcome back to the show, Mr. Papa Palpatine.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Don't mind the raceway outside.
We never do.
Mm-hmm.
It's an every episode occurrence.
Very
We've come to be used to it in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah. At the new house, it won't be like that, which they're pouring the slab today. Yay!
Woot!
So excited to finally see progress, because this builder's a little different. He wanted everything picked out ahead of time. So the problem with that is now we're going to be bored because we've already picked everything out. So now we're just going to be like, clock is ticking. Where's our house?
Well, the great thing, Amanda, at your age, you'll forget some of the shit you picked out, so it'll be like a surprise.
I have a notebook. That is why I have a notebook.
The notebook?
Well, that one too, but no. Because, yeah, I can't, when we go from one vendor to the next, it's like, I've seen so many different things and can't remember exactly what I liked or what I picked or whatever. So, yeah, I have a fancy notebook with everything printed and listed out and categorized and all that.
Like
it was fun times with my label maker.
It'll be like one of those reveals on like Fixer Upper where they open the freaking door and it's like, oh wow, because you forgot everything that you freaking.
Well, it's going to be like that because I haven't seen it before. So,
Casey, we need to get you back to Dallas so we can do an evening at the movie Cribs edition.
yes.
Yeah, we should. That would
Except
actually
for-
be.
I'm going to do the voiceover
Good
work in
idea.
post, just to say what everybody else is actually thinking.
I'm not sure I'm ready for you and Gene to shit on my bouginess. To my
Wait,
face,
whoa,
I'm like,
whoa,
oh,
whoa,
that's
whoa,
cool. And then behind the scenes, you're going to be like, why did they spend money on that?
Are you insinuating that Gene gives a fuck?
Oh, if it involves giving Amanda shit, she will jump right the fuck in with
course.
both feet off the springboard. Even the Romanian judge will give her a 10 on that fucking landing.
Well, George drew the line at heated floors, even though I wanted them in the bathroom. So we're not super duper bougie.
Okay, heated floors in the bathroom, I thought were stupid until I talked to a friend that had one, and damn it, I want one now.
Well, it's too late for us to have it now, but I wanted it and George vetoed it. It's like, we don't need that. And the stupid thing is, we each have our own closet and they're off the bathroom, and we did the tile in the closets. So I'm like, let's do the heated floors so it'll be warm in the bathroom, warm in the closet. Like, you want an $11,000 fridge and I can't have heated floors? What the fuck? Oh, well, it is what it is.
The
Not having cold
bouginess
feet?
that is. Ha! Papa
What'd you
Palpatine's
say?
got joke.
I said, have you tried not having cold feet?
No. George, you know how cold our house is, okay?
True.
George likes
was-
to keep it chilly. So my feet are always cold
No.
even in the summer.
That-
George's the only person I've met more frigid than my ex-wife.
But
Be here all week,
Yeah.
try the veal.
I was gonna say, I was there the last week of September, and
it was hot as balls.
generally outside it was pretty fucking hot. The inside of the Kohlhofer house was like going from outside into living in a refrigerator.
Yeah. We keep it cold up in here. So yeah. So you have some stuff to unbox and watch. You want to get to that first?
Let's do the unboxing stuff before we do the handmade video that you literally sent to me minutes before we went live.
I can't wait to
Sorry.
see what he's regifting.
Ew.
I
I am not
yeah.
interesting, but it is something I already own. But it wasn't mine. I bought him a separate one.
I do love me some virtual hallway sex.
All right, so
Not
the
today, I have a
first
headache.
the first gift that we are opening is from everybody's favorite original icon from the show, Miss Brandy, who
Oh.
made me a crap load of Christmas crack,
Nice.
as well as got me a square box that's very well taped up. What the fuck, lady?
You remind me of Catherine Hahn's kid on Bad Moms Christmas, who's like, "Oh, look what Santa brought me! A bag of plastic bags, a bag of Ziplocs. Look, it's a used baseball glove." She just rewraps the same shit and gives it to him every year. Which I'm not suggesting that's what Brandy did, but just the way you're talking reminds me of him.
Oh no, because there is
I know Brandy
nothing.
does that.
Sometimes you just get gifted used mitt. It happens.
Yeah, as
Ah,
long as it still works.
Brandy is truly original. We have Welcome, You Should Leave, and it's got
That's cool.
Freddy, Pennywise, Jason, Ghostface, and some other idiot on the other side. We'll call him
Excuse
Michael
me.
Myers.
Okay. Better respect. This is like our East Coast, West Coast drama.
Wait. Didn't y'all have a trivia
Yeah,
contest
Street.
on the other person's person? And Amanda, didn't you win? Because I seem to remember
feel like
asking
I
some of those
remember.
questions.
Yeah, I feel like I remember that happened, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Casey?
In fact, has Casey won a trivia episode yet?
He won one because George was nice to him and gave him lots of He won by cheating. Well, he
Oh,
didn't cheat.
okay.
George cheated.
Win if you must, lose if you must, but always cheat. But
It's only cheating if you
to
get caught, which you did.
Thank you,
Just-
Coach Belichick.
steal a line from the great football wife Kylie Kelsey, when Papa Palpatine made that comment about me losing trivia challenges. I think my headset cut out.
Hmm.
So, also gifts from my mom, adding to the addiction craze. A24 movies
Nice.
left, and
Dang. They have a lot more movies than I thought.
One of these days we'll have a good one.
hey now,
Hey, they have some good ones.
Swedish
There's a
sex
lot that are
cult.
weird, but yeah,
Um,
Midsummer is not one of the good ones. It's not for the faint of heart either.
Well, it's not horrible, but it's definitely one of those ones that, yeah, expect the unexpected, and if uncomfortable makes you queasy, then it's not for you. So,
It made me more uncomfortable than Saltburn, which I thought was not possible.
oh no, it is not more uncomfortable than
I disagree,
Saltburn.
but
Fuck
whatever.
that movie, right in the ass, with the dirty bathwater and being a vampire.
You don't want
So,
some jizz
next up-
bathwater?
Ugh. Next up, we have what will end up probably being regifted because we love Amanda, but it's
If you
Amanda's
regift
gift.
this, I'm going to hurt you.
Oh, really? Mhm. Oh shit! There's a whole bunch of crap in here.
No.
Well, not crap.
So many regifts.
So many. Happy birthday. Hope you have the bestest day from. Well, the back of your icon shirt says #1, so
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
That's
I didn't
wrong.
know. I couldn't remember.
I always thought she was a massive number 2.
is that why you threw her in the garbage?
Peanut laden, yeah, for sure.
Well, if I'm a massive number 2, then you are the runniest, most painful version of it.
Well, at least one of us can
Okay.
run.
I don't claim to run. If you see me running, you should be running too.
Well, again, but if Amanda's running,
How'd I have to
all we
run that
do is
fast?
run
Because bitches
faster
always
than
be
her.
tripping.
Over nothing. Bitches always be tripping over nothing. That's my favorite Jason meme. He's like,
That would be
that's my
tripping
favorite
all the
Friday
damn
the
time.
13th meme with Jason, where he's like, I'll just wait till they trip. Bitches always be tripping over nothing.
And
Okay,
I'm
continue.
officially going on record. This is not getting regifted.
Better fucking not.
The greatest
Tell people
Stephen
what it
King
is.
cookbook of all time, The Castle Rock Kitchen.
There's some pretty good shit in there.
And there's
You
a little
don't
box.
have it, right?
No,
Okay, I didn't think so.
I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and just never got around to it. I can
So for
now
people who
officially,
don't know, it's a Stephen King themed cookbook.
yeah, because that's the only kind of cookbook that there is.
I don't even know if
He's
people
written
really.
stories involving auto cannibalism. I'm not sure I want to read a Stephen King cookbook.
No humans were eaten in the making of this cookbook, as far as we know.
We call it the
Oh,
long pork.
damn you! How am I supposed to regift any of this?
You're not supposed to.
Yeah, that's her job.
Yeah, exactly.
Nightmare on
Isn't
Elm
that
Street
badass? I was excited to see it. It's so
coffee
cool.
mug.
That is pretty fucking cool. Like, I'm not even a Nightmare fan, and that's a pretty fucking cool mug.
Is it big?
Oh, it
It
like it
looks
should
like
have, like it should have nipples on it.
Jesus. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool mug. So happy birthday.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate the gift from Brandy as well. I appreciate the gift from Mom. I appreciate all the messages and everything that I got yesterday from everybody. You guys are all amazing and help make this last trip around the sun a memorable one. So, with all
And
of
hello
that
to
said-
everyone in the comments.
Oh, there is people in. Oh, fuck, there is. God damn.
That's okay. I'm just saying hi. You don't have to.
Okay, so Brandy says, "You're welcome," and I will be eating Christmas crack while we talk about this movie.
Nice.
Stop.
It's not a movie, but whatever.
Close enough to a damn movie, and stop asking for it.
If it was 8 hours long or 10 hours long.
Something like that.
Which means it
I'm
was
not-
still better paced than The Northman.
What's the Northman?
A bad A24 movie.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I am not as well versed in their catalog as other people.
Out of all the A24s that I've seen in the last year and a half, I would put it, if not at the bottom, very, very close to the bottom of my list.
It's like watching two really old turtles fuck.
Ew.
It's that slow.
This makes my face look clownish.
And
Seriously?
also,
You're gonna fucking lob that one up? God damn it, Amanda. Anyway, sorry.
It's because I'm trying to get more natural light because I can't use my double monitors anymore. Long story, but they won't work right now. And so I was like bringing it down to try to get the sun on my face, but it only came to here. So I'm like half lit, half not. It's fine. Nobody cares what I look like. Actually, I do. Okay. All right.
and also hello to Harley as well. So
Hello.
thank everybody for everything and all of the goodness. Before we progress into the episode, though, we have a couple more things to get out of the way.
Yeah.
First off, we have a video that was sent to me that I must play. So, with that said, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yo, what up? It's your boy CJ wishing you a happy birthday. I hope you have a great time and do something fun.
I wish you a happy birthday, and man, what a momentous occasion. The anniversary just been going strong. Dude, it's been a pleasure getting to know you ever since I joined the network, man, and I am excited for you. Celebrate your accomplishment and enjoy.
Hi, Casey. It is me, the world's favorite banana. Just wanted to pop in and tell you happy birthday. Thank you so much for being the light that you are in the world. Whether you are, sharing some silly story or sharing what book you're reading or checking on us because we're having a rough day, we can always count on you to be there. So that is such an amazing quality. The world has so few good people in it anymore. So thank you so much for being one of the good ones. So from Larry and I, we hope that your birthday is as magical as you are and that you make 48 be as great as the other 47. Love you, bye.
Hey, Casey, it's your favorite co-host. It's me. Man, I cannot believe that we have been at this for 4 years. It just doesn't seem real, and yet here we are. First off, happy birthday to you, and happy birthday to An Evening at the Movies. I am glad that we're still doing this. We've had so much fun and become really good friends, and definitely can't imagine not having you in my life. So I'm very grateful for you and the show, and yeah, let's just keep kicking ass. It seems like people like to listen to our show, so let's keep doing what we do, and congratulations to us. Yay! Woo!
With a tear in my eye,
Uh-huh.
thank you guys for that.
Tear.
You guys are all awesome. I appreciate everything that every one of you guys have done. Everybody who's been a part of the show for the last 4 years. I know the list is long and distinguished, like my Johnson.
Don't do it. I was trying to cover you up.
You can't cover up my magic. No, it's been an amazing ride, and especially the last year and a half, 2 years since we started doing the YouTube stuff, and seeing how much the show has grown. There's nothing stopping An Evening at the Movies from going another 4, 5, 6, 10, forever. I'll be freaking dead and gone and still coming back from the dead to freaking do An Evening at the Movies every week.
If you're going to haunt me, I have rules.
rules and bones are made to be broken, and I've already caused broken bones for you. So
That's true. I was just saying to George today, just think, this time last year, we were on our way to Antigua, and I had no idea what was about to happen to me.
a
No vacation.
year later, you're still suffering from it.
So is the new place going to have ramps built in already, or are you just going to get those added on later?
Okay, you're kidding. But I actually told George, and it's too late to do it, that we probably should have made the house wheelchair accessible. Because, for one, we plan at some point that most likely one of my parents will end up living with us. And two, it's likely I'm going to end up in a wheelchair at some point as well. And trying to get a wheelchair around a non-accessible house is a pain in the ass, because that's what I had to do last year. So, yeah, good times. Yeah, I'm very sad I'm not on vacation this year, but I guess it means I get to be here for all this fun stuff.
Whoop whoop. So
Casey, I will get you the exact dates, but I believe it's the 15th or 16th and 17th of July. We will be in Seattle.
Ooh.
I'm going to book that down, and we're going to have Seattle shenanigans this time.
Maybe I should go.
No offense, you're the number 2 person. I sent you the cruise details.
Oh, that's right, the cruise. Yes, that's right. I
cruise,
forgot
yeah.
that's what that was.
You're the number 2 person I want to see while I'm there, but I definitely want to see you while we're there. I've got a cousin in Seattle that I've seen less recently than I've seen you, so that's why you're number 2.
Oh, damn.
We want to do that cruise, but we can't really. All of our money and then some is poured into this new house. So
sounds like a first world problem to me.
Oh, it is. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just
come on, Amanda. We could be on a boat, get white girl wasted, and do a fucking live episode.
Oh,
if that one gets wasted on a boat, you better have freaking floaties on her arms.
Oh no, the hallways are real narrow. She can just bounce back to the room without really hurting herself. She'll be fine. And I know this is possible because I did it myself. Okay, I'm not even. Yeah.
It's good to have something to keep you upright when you're drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
Or seasick, or both. I'm scared to take a cruise because I get really bad motion sickness. But the Alaska cruise sounds so fucking amazing. If I was gonna do a cruise, that's what I'd do. Like, I wouldn't do a cruise to the tropics. Like that's where we go on vacation all the time. Like, if I was gonna do a cruise, I would either want to do a Disney cruise if they would fucking do an adults only one. I don't know why this doesn't exist. Because with the amount of Disney adults in the world, they would bank. I don't know why this isn't a thing, but if it was, count me in. Or Alaska.
At that point, would it be a Disney cruise?
I hope so. If I'm
yeah, baby, just let it go.
What's wrong with the world?
Let it go. Let it go. No, I'm not getting
vacation sex is the thing.
God, I miss fucking on waterbeds. Anyway,
okay, never mind. The first time I had sex was on a waterbed. I think you know with who, but we won't talk about him on air. But yeah, that kid had a waterbed in his bedroom.
Not co-hopper?
No. George is not trampy like me. He also married his high school sweetheart, to be fair. So was with her all through high school and through college, and then started dating me like 7 months after they got divorced. So yeah.
Oh. Well, just hoe phase.
Well, when we first started dating, I thought that's what he was doing. I was like, is this your partying hoe phase? Because he was going out getting drunk all the time. And I was like, I got a toddler. I don't have time for this shit. It's a miracle we're still together, I will say. But he grew up a little. And not that I blamed him. Everybody needs that phase, especially if you've never done it. I mean, he was in a fraternity, so he's done some crazy stuff, and he grew up with Steven. So I'm surprised they're both still alive. But, he never had his hoe phase.
I mean, I believe it was 3 years ago when we had our first anniversary. After we went off the air, Steven shared the psycho ex-girlfriend story with
you have to be more specific. No, I'm just kidding. I know what you're talking about. When it comes to Steven.
The overly saturated bedroom carpet.
Yeah.
What I really love is when you go out into public with those two, somehow they're able to censor the stories enough to make them tellable in public without taking out any actual details. It's a fucking gift.
You wouldn't know by looking at those two some of the fucking shit they have done and how they've. I literally don't know how they're alive. When George has told me some stories, I'm like, how did you guys even survive that?
Yeah, I don't know how I'm alive some days either. So I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
Amanda, how are you alive?
That, is a good question.
She's like me. She's too mean to fucking die.
Yeah, that's probably it. I don't know. Ever since when I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, I should have been dead. My blood sugar was in the thousands. Like,
Jesus.
That's coma dead. People don't survive that. So I feel like I must have survived for a reason. And then I've survived another almost chance at death. So I'm like, you know what? I could deal with a broken ankle because I'm not dying, but I'll still probably die like falling off the toilet or something. I'll be that one person a year that dies that way. Anyway.
So we have 2 more really quick things to do before we get to the episode and talk about Daisy Jones and the Six. But everybody's here for the Sip Libs. So are we ready to play some Sip Libs?
We are. So yeah, for people that have been listening, we know the Sip list is on a break, although I did just release an episode, but we'll talk about that later. So we're bringing some Sip list stuff to an evening at the movies occasionally, and so sometimes we're going to do Sip Libs. And since it's a birthday anniversary thing, I figured let's do one. So this one is called The Birthday Plan. Okay. So I don't know what order this is supposed to go in. I'm using a different thing this time. The first one's an adjective, so we got certifiably fuckable. Where'd my... Oh, there we go. Okay, Casey, another adjective.
Another adjective? Hung.
Nice. Chris, a partner's name. Can we drag Cassandra into this?
Yeah.
Okay. Adjective for me, I'm going to say slutty. Since we're talking about faces.
Okay, so certifiably fuckable, hung, Cassandra, and slutty.
Or as we call it around here,
Saturday night. All right, Casey, adjective.
Adjective for me, and Brandy is excited for Sip Libs.
What?
Brandy said,
sorry. I'm
yay,
not,
Sip Libs.
I can't see you guys right now because I'm on a different page. Okay.
Yeah. Adjective for me. Just because I'm not screwing with you like I did last year, I'm going to do it again this year and screw with you a little bit more. Moist.
Ew. Okay, a noun for me. I'm going to say vibrator. Oh, wait, that's for Chris. I'm sorry. Chris, a noun.
Cock.
Nice. Oh, no.
Real version of a vibrator.
For me, it's a partner's name. What are George and Cassandra going to do? I don't want to know.
Something involving moist cock.
Yes. Casey.
Certifiably fuckable.
Yeah.
BDSM.
That's okay. That's fair. Chris, an adjective?
Horseshit butt fuckery.
Nice.
Casey took mine, I'm taking his.
Wait, isn't that a noun?
It's a little bit of, it's however you want to use it. It's like fuck,
Okay,
you can use it however you want.
That's fair. Okay. The fancy restaurant or dream location. Ooh.
Uranus? Oh, sorry.
Oh, this is too okay. Let's just go with fancy restaurant. I'm gonna go with I really want to say something shitty like Western Sizzlin'.
I miss Western Sizzlin'.
I kind of do too. Okay, I'm gonna go with
Ponchos was too cheap.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with a dream location and say the Bahamas. All right, Casey, plural noun.
Nipples.
Okay, Chris, a noun.
Dong holster.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Is that like slang for a condom? Is that like fancy talk for condoms?
No, it's like a shame cave.
Oh, okay.
You know, like a toothless sarlacc, a smiling Chewbacca.
Okay. Okay, adjective for me.
Speaking of all that, we need to get back to our trip into the Star Wars universe, Papa Palpatine.
We do.
It's been a while. Longer than it's been since we did Harry Potter.
Okay, I did slippery. Casey, a name. Who do we want to bring into this?
Harvandre.
All right. Chris, a name.
Sancho.
I
Oh Lord. Do you practice
Sancho.
Santeria?
I got no crystal ball. Famous person for me, I'm going to say Taylor Swift. Okay, this is another partner's name, so should we just say Steven or should we say Gene? I mean,
I
it's
say
to
we-
you, but
Well, I say we go with Jean because she's the one who
okay.
isn't here with us, so
It could make her
her
part of the
punishment is-
shenanigans.
massive.
Okay. Chris, an adjective.
Dripping.
Drippy.
Sure.
That would be an adjective. Dripping isn't an adjective. Well, I guess it could be if you're describing something that is dripping. Okay. A noun. Earlobe. Casey, plural noun.
Florida fucks.
And Chris, a name. We're almost done.
Amanda.
Oh boy.
I would say we're almost getting into freaking Nightmare on My Street territory.
Yeah.
This is going to be a gangbang.
Well, this is a completely different website because the other one didn't work anymore. So, adjective, I'm going to say glorious. Okay, Casey, an adjective.
Endowed.
Nice. And last one, Papa Palpatine. It says partner's name, so but we could just you can do whatever name you want because we're out of partners.
Bob.
Nice.
Not Neo. Neo and Bob.
What?
The Bob is the important part.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, why did it put his name at the front? All right, I don't know. Here we go. Harvandre is the most certifiably fuckable partner anyone could ever ask for. Right now, he's planning the
don't tell
most
him that.
hung. Huh?
Don't tell him that.
Right now, he's planning the most hung birthday surprise for Cassandra, and it's nothing short of. Are you okay?
Mhm.
Oh God, you're not about to be. First, they've arranged
Lord.
for a moist cock themed celebration because they
Called
know
it.
how much they know how much George loves BDSM.
Oh Jesus!
Me myself.
We don't
Okay,
care about him. It's okay.
I'm not gonna lie. It's been a while since we've had a sip libs that caused Amanda to almost pee herself.
Okay.
Well, it depends.
Ah!
God damn it. Okay. But that's not all. There's also a horseshit butt fuckery dinner at Bahamas, complete with nipples and a surprise dong holster that will make them feel like the most slippery person in the world.
Ah, yes. Surprise dong holster. My favorite.
I mean, I think you want that to be a surprise. Honestly, who even thinks of this stuff? Sancho, that's who. To top it off, Amanda has secretly arranged for Taylor Swift to make an appearance because she knows how much it would mean to Gene.
Not.
Well, now
Not-
we've got off on a deep end that's not true.
They've even been crafting a dripping earlobe to present during the party, filled with Florida fucks that represent all their best memories together. Seriously, is this real life? Everyone should be taking notes on how to be the most glorious endowed partner ever. Bob is one lucky person, and let's be honest, they probably know it. Let me know if you. Oh, never mind. That's it. Bob is one lucky person, and let's be honest, he probably knows it. I think we were probably supposed to use the same partners' names all the way through, but whatever. That was still funny.
It still worked. I'm gonna say it. Like I said, it's been a while since we've had that great of a fucking sip libs.
I can neither confirm nor deny that George loves BDSM.
Again, I'm
That's
guessing
an
he's a
image
power bottom.
I don't want in my memory right now.
Ha ha.
So, one last thing before we get to the actual discussion, and
Hello?
okay, I just saw your comments in the freaking chat.
Oh, I know.
So, really quick, for those of you who have been here since the beginning, you know that we like to do a thing where from time to time we don't have a hall of fame for our people, but we like to anoint them as icons. We have real life people in our lives that we have made icons. We've had celebrities that we've made icons. The one thing we haven't done is um, name iconic episodes from the history of An Evening at the Movies. So several months back, I set up an idea where we'd keep track of the most listened to and or watched episodes of the show throughout the history of the show, and the ones that came up with the most views and listens, we would make the first iconic episodes of An Evening at the Movies. So, with all of that said, there are 5 episodes that will become iconic episodes from the show as of immediately. Number 5 for the most viewed episode or listened to episode of all time is Christine, which
Nice.
we had Harvey on for that episode from the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network. Men Are the Prize and Love is Black. Our last episode that we just released, Can't Buy Me Love, is number 4. We have the iconic Runaway Jury from Thanks Grisham Month. That
That was
came
a
in
good
at
one.
number 3. Let's see.
Good
Firestarter.
legalese from me and Chansey. That's literally all we talked about the whole episode was how none of that could have actually happened. Anyway.
Yes. Number 2 was Firestarter, again with Harvey. And the number 1 most listened to and watched episode of all time shocked the hell out of me because, for those of you that know, is the last episode that Chansey was here before he went into witness protection. And with literally almost 400 views, the Black Christmas episode is the most watched and or listened to episode of all time.
I think it's because we
So-
said the see you next Tuesday like 10 times. It's about how many times they say it in the
Probably.
movie. Not really, but they say
They
it
say it a lot.
times.
A lot more than they do in any other kind of freaking movie out there.
And especially for the 70s, that was very risque. Unless
True.
you're British. That's like their favorite word.
It's like a comma in Scotland.
Yeah, I need to be British or Scottish.
Bloody hell. So,
All right.
are we ready to talk about Netflix movie?
We are. It's actually Prime.
Not Netflix, Prime.
And it's a limited series.
I
Shit, I
had
thought I was on the wrong episode for a second. Fuck.
Which
I had an
convinced
Amanda
Casey to
brain
read
fart.
the book and watch the show, so I'm proud of myself.
I'm waitlisted for the book from the library, but I am planning on reading.
This is one of those movies that honestly I will say I feel like the movie and the book are almost on the same level.
It's very, very
One is
close.
better than the other.
The ending is slightly different, but not enough that you wouldn't notice unless you read the book and then watched the show right after, which is what I did. It's pretty faithful, so I was happy about that.
So generally we have a bunch of background information that we give, but most of that information isn't necessarily available per se, because I mean there's a bunch of different directors that directed different episodes. It's a 10-part miniseries on Prime. There's no budget / box office numbers to share. Basically, it released on March 3rd, 2023, ended on March 24th, 2023.
It was #1 on Prime for a few weeks.
Yeah, and I don't know about other people's, but it's still on my top 10 on Prime. So, I call horseshit butt fuckery on this, but would you guys like to make a wager as to what the Rotten Tomato score for this?
Oh, I'm not prepared for this. For some reason, I didn't think they'd have one. I don't know why.
Oh, they've got one, and you're not going to be happy when I reveal the answer.
Well, then I don't want to know because I don't see very much, if anything, wrong with this show. Okay.
Wait, the Metacritic or the audience score?
It's the tomato meter.
Fuck.
So that's the critic.
I'm guessing since it's, I'll go into why later. I'm guessing it's like a 6.2.
No, it's percentage out of 100.
Oh, so probably 70 something, mid 70s.
The way Casey's talking about it, I'm thinking it's lower. I'm going to go with 52. Okay.
69%.
That's still low.
Whilst I applaud the number, that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's total bullshit.
I understand the series is a slow burn at parts, but it tells the story so fucking well. I get that
it does.
Either somebody wasn't happy because they didn't realize it was a miniseries, or I don't know why anybody would rip this show.
I'm gonna go read the reviews later because that's weird to me.
I would wager it was somebody who sat down to watch and then hadn't read the book, didn't know what to expect, and isn't necessarily knowledgeable about like 1970s classic rock.
But who
but
is
you
it?
don't have to be aware of those things, right? Like, I'm
yeah,
not
you
the
really
biggest Fleetwood
don't.
Mac
I
fan.
agree 100%.
Absolutely.
More,
like I will say, it gives it more like, I don't want to say relatability. That's not the right word. Maybe it is. But if you know, because, okay, the series is based off the book by Taylor Jenkins Reid, who herself said it was inspired by Fleetwood Mac and the Civil Wars, which are two bands that broke up basically the same way because of love things. And,
I mean, what little I know about Fleetwood Mac, I knew that it was based on Fleetwood Mac, right?
Right.
But knowing as little as I did about Fleetwood Mac, right, I didn't lose anything by watching it, by not knowing much about Fleetwood Mac, because the series told its own story pretty well.
Exactly. So yeah, you don't need to know that, but if you do, then it's like a little extra special because yes, it's fiction, but it's like you're getting a behind the curtain look at what happened with like some of your favorite bands. And I know the Civil Wars aren't popular with everybody, but I adored them and I was very upset when they broke up, and I think they had 2 albums. So, but to say that, In fact, they hate each other so much that when Taylor Swift was doing her re-records, they did Safe and Sound with her from the Hunger Games. Joy and I can't remember his name. They had to come in and record separately because they didn't want to record it together with Taylor because they didn't want to be in the same room together. So it's like you're getting a behind the scenes look sort of at that, even though it's fiction. So I'm like, why would you not? But yeah, to your point, you don't even have to know any of that. It's just a story.
Right.
I mean, it's not like you said, you don't lose anything by not knowing. You don't have to know shit about fuck. It's still just a great story.
Right. It's great storytelling. It's good acting, and especially when you realize that the only bigger name in that entire show is Timothy Oliphant, and he's in a role that you never saw Timothy Oliphant in.
Right.
He
And
was
he's
a
not even
record
in that much of the damn movie.
Right, oh, absolutely, right.
Or
But it's a
series.
bunch of mid-level actors. No offense to them, right? I think
Right,
Riley
but-
Keough did great. I think Sam Claflin is on the rise, especially after his turn on Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
Well, he was great in the Hunger Games. Like, who knew he could sing, right?
Right. So,
Like,
but
I had no
they're
idea.
not. There's no A-listers on this show,
Well,
right?
and you get
Amazon
the
did not go out
Riley-
and blow the money on one person.
Right, but you also get the whole if you know who Riley Keough is, and they made a big
Sure.
deal about this in the media, so you can't not know. She's Elvis
Right.
Presley's granddaughter. So it's
But
like
she wasn't really a singer until this.
right. And she's oh
You
my
know.
god, she's phenomenal. Oh, her voice
Right.
gives me chills. So
So they
yeah, that's
went out and got
bullshit.
people who
Fuck
could
those
do the
critics.
role as opposed to figuring out what big name they could go out and grab.
And that makes
and
it
back
better
then-
because nobody's
Sure.
getting the most attention. It's like, oh, I'm only watching for so and so. And all of those actors were really good. Like I mean, obviously we had seen Sam in the Hunger Games, but I would love to see all of them in
You
more
have.
stuff.
For sure. I think Sam Claflin is, like I said, on the rise. I think Riley Keough should be on the rise as well.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I mean, a couple of the characters annoyed me, but that was because that was the character, right?
There's Chris.
The guy who ended up
Eddie,
being
Eddie.
is that the guy who ended up being the session musician and during all the interviews was like, I really miss drugs. And part of that is that guy is so baby faced they could not age him up at all.
Oh, I think you're talking about Graham, the brother.
Okay,
the one
yeah,
that was with the keyboard player. Yeah.
Yeah. They
Eddie
can't age
was
up that guy at all because he looks 12
slighted.
regardless.
The
Yeah.
slighted guitar
Eddie wa-
player who was always in Billy's shadow. Fuck Eddie.
Right.
And the great
Billy
thing
literally
about,
fired on stage
yeah,
in the middle of the damn
you're
Chicago show.
fucking done. He goes up to him in the microphone. I love you, brother. Hugs him so everyone can hear it. And then he's like, "You're fucking done" in his ear. I loved it.
By the way, now that we've ripped the Band-Aid off and started to spoil shit, if you haven't seen this yet, you might want to push pause and come back.
Yeah,
and watch it.
please do
Right,
because you should
right.
watch it. Or
We're fixing to rip a whole bunch of spoilers off, and we haven't even
Taking the
gotten
cover right off this bitch.
we say we haven't even gotten to the big one yet. So
well, let
and-
me.
you can't discuss this movie without discussing.
Well, the big rip of
Yes.
the Band-Aid happened in the first 2 minutes of the show, right?
Oh,
And
that's
normally
not
I
what-
don't like the you see what happened was type storytelling, but this one fucking rocks it.
Yeah, because you
And
know
the-
at the
the-
beginning what's going to happen to them.
Right. You got to be real careful when you give. In this case, it's not the ending, right? But it's a rather climactic moment in the story. That if the build up to that doesn't match the energy of that first scene,
Right.
you're fucked.
But it
and very
does,
few
and-
shows do it properly. But this, yeah, exactly. This one does absolutely. The build up to that, and the fact that they keep getting kind of close and then pulling back, and they're getting kind of close and then pulling back.
Yeah.
That they edge you for 8 episodes, but it works.
They bring you right to the brink and don't let
Right
you go.
there.
Well, that's one of those things that I believe even Amanda and I talked about while we were
Edging.
watch.
Oh.
No.
You're funny.
Oh, we just lost your audio, buddy. Here, let me read the premise real quick while you're doing that, and then you can say your thought, just so people who don't know can hear what this is about.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Daisy Jones and the Six, like we said, Amazon Prime series based on the book of the same name. Again, Taylor Jenkins Reid. Highly recommend this book. Also, highly recommend The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It's similar to this in its storytelling and has a good twist. Her other books are more like romantical. They're still really good, but those two are like anybody could read those and really enjoy. Daisy Jones and the Six follows a rock band in the 70s from their rise in LA music scene to becoming one of the most famous bands in the world and explores the reason behind their split at the height of their success. There you go.
That's everything in a nutshell. Yes. So what the hell was I talking?
You were saying we were talking about something.
Oh, we were, because when Amanda and I did our watch party and we watched the entire series, we basically did it in 2 or 3 episode chunks all the way through. And at the end of each one, it's hard to stop and wait till the next night or whenever we got to the end, because the story is so well put together. I haven't seen many limited series, mini series, whatever you want to say, to have flowed from beginning, middle, and end as well as this series.
Leave you on a bit of a cliffhanger.
Every damn episode.
Yeah.
There was numerous times where we sent a message to each other saying, okay, I'm ready for bed. See you tomorrow. But I could have stayed up and literally watched another because.
Well, I told you could.
But
yeah, there
I
were
was
a couple of
enjoying
nights
watching.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I was enjoying watching it and having somebody to talk to about everything that happened, because literally every time you turn around, something intriguing was happening, and so you want to know what's going to happen, even if you read the book before you watch the series.
Yeah.
There were several nights where Cassandra and I wanted to watch another episode, but we knew we had to go to bed. And luckily, I don't know if Amazon dropped the whole series at once or we waited long enough to binge it. I don't know, but I'm glad we didn't have to try to watch that one episode at a time, once a week, because the pacing is so good and one episode ties into another so well that you want to watch the next one.
Well, and for people who don't know, and this is one of the things I love about the book, because you don't get nonfiction books or fiction books like this. I mean, if you've seen the show, but you haven't read the book, the show's done interview style, it's like a behind the music, like if you're watching behind the music on VH1 or whatever. The book is written the exact same way. And when I heard that, I was like, how do you read a book written interview style like that? And it's fucking amazing. It flows so well that it's like you remember that it's an interview style, but you also forget it. So I feel like not many authors can do that. So props to Taylor Jenkins Reid, because on a TV show or a movie, that's really easy to do, right? Because it's just like you're watching, like I said. But for a book to do that and still keep you interested, fantastic.
Oh, Lisa, we're talking about Daisy Jones and the Six.
Sorry, Lisa.
Did we ever actually say the name of the show?
We did, yeah, but it's been like 10 minutes. So yeah. Lisa, we are talking about the limited series on Prime based on the book Daisy Jones and the Six. So if you don't want spoilers and you haven't read it or seen it, then we would appreciate you coming back. But if you don't mind it being spoiled, stick around. I mean, there's not that much to spoil other than one little twist towards the end. I mean, it's, again, if you know it's based on Fleetwood Mac or the Civil Wars or whatever, it's two people in the band fell in love. It got complicated and they broke up. This is just more behind like everybody's shit. And then of course, Billy's married. I don't know if Lindsey Buckingham was ever married. I don't think Stevie was. I don't know. I haven't. But that's not the point.
They were bumping uglies.
Yeah. I mean, again, and that's another thing that this show does that I love, which is very much pulled from Fleetwood Mac, is You're gonna break up with me? Okay, fuck you. I'm gonna write this song, bring it in, and make you sing it on stage
Right.
about you. And they did that in this too. Billy writes a song about Daisy, and Daisy writes a song about Billy, and they're having to sing it on stage and act like they love each other when they know it's like, I mean, Regret Me, one of the best songs ever.
Oh, the scene where he makes her start over on that track like 417 times
Dick.
was such an amazing bit of storytelling because the rest of the band never says a word, right? But they have
Right?
this look on their face that goes from, okay, this is kind of funny, to what the fuck, dude, to, man, just let her go, bro. Just let her go.
Right. But no, he's trying to punish her. Like, yeah.
So the fact that Billy is able to keep that level of anger throughout the entire scene,
Yeah.
and the rest of the actors are just able to emote what's going on.
Mhm.
Because if they have any dialogue in that sequence, it ain't much, right?
Yeah, it's just her going, "What the fuck? What's wrong now?" Like,
But just the other band members' reaction through that entire sequence is just, it's almost like mirroring what the audience should be feeling. To, okay, this is a little funny to,
yeah.
dude, that
So this
horse
is
has been
awkward,
beaten for a
but what do
while.
we do?
Yeah, that horse real dead or real beaten. Fucking stop.
Yeah. Yeah, Brandy said, I did wonder if it was based on a true band or not. Again, it's inspired, it's fiction, but she, like I said, the author herself did say the Civil Wars and Fleetwood Mac were her inspiration. And obviously the Civil Wars were a more current band, but it's still the same, dynamic. I'm just saying the Civil Wars a million times so people will go listen to them because I love their music so much. And literally, it hurts me so much that they're not together because there has not been a replacement for them. Nobody sounds like they sounded.
No, Stevie still got that voice.
Yeah, she does. And for it up, being inspired, but we don't know, whatever, Daisy or, Riley pulled that look off with the costumes, with the eyes, with the makeup, with the demeanor. It was just like spot on.
I mean, she did everything but Stevie's snake dance, because that would have been a little bit too on the nose.
Yeah, I agree. You can't be copying people's stuff if you don't want to copyright or whatever.
Right.
Casey, did you actually have discussion questions for us, or are we just free balling?
That's one of those things that we're trying to evolve the show and make it less of a formatted. So we have this question, now this question, now this question, and just make it more of a people just kicking it and talking about a damn movie.
And I appreciate in the storytelling of this show how they avoided so many tropes that other shows would have completely grabbed with both fucking hands and held on to. Like Billy, once he gets clean, he stays clean, right?
Yeah.
There's no massive relapse. There's some temptation and there's some moments, but it's not, oh look, the addict's gonna get high again. Right.
And you see how hard it is for him when he's in the bus by himself and everybody's in the other bus and he's just like, nothing to do.
Like, most other stories, Billy and Daisy wouldn't have just kind of crossed lines. They had a full-on fucked.
Yeah.
Right. And so it shows these complex characters written really well, acted really well, who aren't utter pieces of shit, so you can still relate to them.
Right. How much do you guys love Warren, the drummer? Warren was my favorite. He was the best comedic relief, and he was like, I'm just here to play music. I'm here to date my hot actress girlfriend. I'm here to sign girls' tits. I'm here to play music and just have fun.
Right.
Like, he never let the drama get to him.
My only thing with Warren was the aged up scenes in the interview. He still looked the exact same, but with the cheesy mustache, because that poor guy is so baby-faced you can't age him up right now.
Yeah.
So it didn't always work for me visually. But his character, is the comic relief. It's the voice of the audience. It's the bit of fresh air, especially when he does the whole, like I said, man, I really miss drugs.
Yeah. And like when he, towards the end, when he goes up to Eddie, right before their big performance, he's like, dude, what's your fucking problem? You're in the biggest band on the earth right now. Like, why are you so negative? What is your deal? Like, just play your music, have fun. Who cares if you're not the biggest star? You don't have to be Billy. You're still in the biggest band in the world. People know who
Right.
you are. Like, he's like, okay, fine, screw you. I'm going to go call my actress girlfriend, and then I'm going to get drunk, and then I'm going to come back and play some music and live my life. Like,
Right. And in this way, War is the most successful of the bunch, right? Because he's still married to that chick at the end, right?
right.
He's still getting to play
Yeah.
music. He's getting to do whatever the fuck he wants, and he's having a blast in his life. You can tell by the look on his face.
Yeah.
So, in a way, he's the most pure-ish and the most successful.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about, I mean, obviously we've seen it in real life if we keep wanting use Fleetwood Mac as the reference just because it's the easiest, but do you think it's possible for two people who have that kind of chemistry while making art for them not to fall in love or not to take the passion to the next level? Because you have to have the passion. Like, that's what the audience wants. Them singing in the microphone at the same time, them giving each other the eyes. Like, part of it's an act, but I also wonder if you're in a band for a long time, how do you not fall in love or cross that line? Because you're connecting physically and artistically. Like, you're in the same space all the time, but also your minds and your art are connecting as well. Like, it just seems like a match made in heaven until it's not.
I don't see how you don't catch some level of feelings.
Yeah.
Right? Some level of affection or love or whatever you want to call it. And it's going to differ by the pairing, right?
Yeah.
How deep that connection goes, but I think it's definitely possible to not act upon it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible to not think about it, right? Not have
Yeah.
it creep into your conscious or unconscious self. But yeah, if you're making that level of art and you're playing that role, like you said, on stage constantly, and you're having that level of closeness, and you're pouring your heart into each other and soul into each other while writing lyrics and music, I don't think it's possible to not have some level of affection back and forth.
And if you want to go by the Joey rule from Friends, you don't want to act upon it, because the minute you do, you lose all that, tension and chemistry and
Mhm.
unbridled passion because you've done the thing.
Yeah. And yes, Lisa, we're still discussing Daisy Jones and the Six.
So yeah. Sam's performance as Billy gutted me. He was just perfect
Mm-hmm.
with the emotion and the delivery and you could see his inner struggle on his face, like, all the time, about knowing what he should do versus what he wants to do. And yeah, loved him. And Camilla's a fucking saint.
Yeah.
To go through everything that she went through that entire story, and still, I mean, she's not 100% a saint either, because
Right.
Her and Eddie, but at the same time, two wrongs don't make a right.
So, Casey, because you're the most recent one to read the book, it's been a minute for me. Obviously, in the show, it's heavily implied that Camilla and Eddie hook up. But in the book, does it specifically say? I can't remember. I know it alludes to something happening, but I can't remember if it ever says, yes, they hooked up, or no, they just did something.
So, one, not to skip out on that, but
Sorry.
yes, Lisa, I highly recommend, if you haven't seen it, to go and watch it 100%. We'll get to our overall thoughts of the entire project here shortly, but definitely 100%. Everybody needs to check this out. Now back to Amanda's thoughts on her question on. So I didn't directly page for page do an actual physical read with everything in front of me. Part of it I did listen to the
Oh, yeah.
audiobook while I was at work, and I don't specific because that was about the time that all this stuff was going on. So I don't specifically remember them blatantly coming out and saying yeah. But definitely 100% it is alluded to
Yeah.
and
Okay.
implied.
In the show, it's very heavily implied that that's what happened. But in the book, I feel like it was just like a makeout session.
Yeah.
I don't feel like in the again, it's been like a year or two since I read it, but I feel like it wasn't they didn't have sex. But definitely in the show, you get the feeling. So it's like, okay, Billy's in love with Daisy, but Camilla fucked
Mhm.
Eddie. Like, which one is worse? I mean, Eddie, really? Really? And Eddie's the only one slimy enough to do that shit too. That's why.
Yeah, but again, you know, I know
Warren
it's
would
not the most
never.
savory of things to say, but bros before hoes.
Yeah, but Eddie didn't see Billy as his bro. He saw him as his competition.
True.
Eddie. And the thing about Eddie is you see at the end when he's like, "Yeah, I still go out and perform and all this stuff." He never he's still second fiddle. Like he's never he thought he could be so much better than Billy and so much bigger and whatever. Now I will say when they go to Philadelphia and Billy takes the guitar and does the thing that Eddie was supposed to do, I did feel like that was a real dick move. Eddie was like, my parents were there, and that was my moment. But other than that,
Good
like,
work.
dude, you're the bass player. You're not the lead singer. You're not the star. Like, either get with the program or go start your own band.
That would
But
be Pittsburgh,
Lemmy
not
plays bass and
Philadelphia.
Lemmy is God.
Okay, well, yeah, some are, but I'm just saying, like in that band, Eddie was not, you know. But again, you're in a band, dude. You're in the hottest band in the world. You should be like, if you want to, do all the drugs, have sex with all the girls. There's nothing you can't have. And the only thing that he wanted was what he couldn't have, which was being Billy.
Mhm.
He wanted Camilla and he wanted to be Billy in the band. Dick. I hate Eddie. Okay.
Which, I mean, that definitely adds a whole another special kind of layer to that final episode when you get to it, because literally that final episode is watching all of the shit that's been building for 9 episodes and how exactly it is going to unfold and break up the band,
Right.
Yeah.
all with all within that, what, 1 hour window of the episode.
Yeah. And I think the thing that broke me the most in the when they're doing their post, it's after they broke up, the part of the interview is, Karen saying, "I told Graham what he needed to hear, but I wasn't being honest." Like that hurt me because I would have felt better if it had just been, yeah, she wants to live this life, and she even says she went out and lived it, but she still really loved Graham. And I mean, I guess sometimes if you love someone, the right thing to do is let them go, and that's what she did. So
Yeah. And Lisa said, in all bands, whether you're famous or not, you have egos, and artists among everyone have the biggest egos, especially with musicians. She knows she's a musician, so I'm not going to deny that statement at all. I mean,
yeah, it's obviously
you
true.
have to have a certain amount of ego to, you know, throw yourself out there creatively like all these different people do. So
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, those are the big stories. It's Daisy and Billy's,
Mhm.
relationship, and then Eddie and Billy, their conflict, and then, Karen and Graham and their romance, and Warren's just there to have fun.
Sign boobs and drink alcohol and take drugs.
I love
Make
at
money
the end when
for bitches.
he's like, girls don't ask me to sign their tits anymore. Well, actually, that's not true. Sometimes my wife does just to be nice. So funny.
Dude's living his best life.
Yeah.
uh, there's just something totally fucking magical about Warren, especially when you get to the end and you have the band-aid ripped off when you find out who's interviewing the band.
Oh
Yeah, I was
man.
gonna say, should we talk about that? Yeah.
I mean,
Because if you
okay,
think about
so
it, you wonder that
pa-
at the beginning.
pause for the cause, but if you are watching and you have not seen the series, now would be the time to pause and come back and finish after you watch the series, because what we're getting into, ready to discuss before we get to our reviews, is the big ish reveal at the end.
This Band-Aid has Band-Aids, flat out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's band aids
Actually,
all over
And you
this
need them for your soul.
series.
right before we get to that, because it's like there's nothing else to talk about after that.
Mhm.
I want to bring up how great some of the non-band characters are in this, like Teddy.
Mm.
Oh
Oh
my
God.
god!
And the whole
You
Teddy
know
arc.
that's a nod to Quincy Jones.
Oh, absolutely. The whole Teddy arc, in the way they handled that, in the way Tom Wright played that role, was fucking beautiful.
Yeah. Simone.
Yeah, and Timothy Oliphant again as
Yeah.
Rod Reyes. Of course, I'd watch Timothy Oliphant pretty much anything at this
Me
point.
too. I'd watch him paint a white wall white.
Like, I was done with that God, the
Justified?
stupid. No, I
Justified.
love Justified. The show, the HBO show with the high-end hotel.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, he's in season 3 of that, and I wasn't going to watch any more of it after season 2, and then I found out he was in season 3, and
I miss
yeah.
Santa Clarita
I'm
Diet.
coming back.
So pissed we didn't get an ending to Santa Clarita Diet. He was so good in that.
He's a fucking gem.
Yeah.
And
But
the
yeah.
one show where he doesn't play a marshal,
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, the side characters were really good, and I liked that we got a little bit of their story, but it was still
White Lotus. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched season 3. Okay.
Well, I don't think it's out yet, is it?
Oh. But you said he's in it?
I think he's in season 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Lisa, I've seen all the hype around all the extra stories and stuff that's going around the music industry right now with all of that. So,
I feel
but
like I'm not going to believe that until they show us proof, only because, and not because I don't think it could happen, because I absolutely do, but because he's not here to defend himself.
true. That's, and like we were just talking about though too, that was one of those things that it never dawned on me in the beginning. Well, not necessarily the payoff per se, but like the beginning of the movie, you get the aged up interview segments with everybody from the band, blah 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 blah. But then you see a clip of Teddy on an interview show. I don't remember what it
It looked
was,
like it was
but
supposed to be Carson, but who knows?
yeah, and it wasn't. It was from after the breakup, but not as recent as
Yeah.
the interviews. And then all of a sudden, you get to the final episode, and it's like, yeah, Teddy died of a heart problem in '92
Was
or
it
'93
a
or
heart attack?
whatever. And
Yeah.
so it's like, oh, it never freaking dawned on me. But yeah,
And sorry, I misspoke. I have Justified brain. It's Walton Goggins in season 3 of The White Lotus, not Timothy Oliphant.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
But again, I would watch Walton Goggins in fucking anything.
Yeah.
So
he,
So yeah,
Walton is.
I don't know if you guys did, and watching the show and or reading the book at the beginning, wondering why now? Why is this band getting together now to do these interviews? Well, they're not getting together, but they haven't talked about this for like 40 years or 30 years or whatever, and now they're ready to talk about it. And then we
Well,
find out
again.
why.
That's another one of those things that I didn't think about it for, the entire book / 9.8 875, episodes until it got to the end and the Band-Aid got ripped off and they revealed why they were sitting down and doing the discussion and all of that.
And it's because the interviewer was Billy and Camilla's daughter.
Right. I mean, I honestly thought it was going to be some sort of behind the music sort of thing, right? Like a
Yeah.
VH1 special, because that's what it felt like you said.
Yeah.
And so when they pivot to that and we find out what happened to Camilla, I'm like, God
Oh.
damn it.
In
But I think also the fact that is what brought, I hate to use this word, but closure for Daisy
Yeah.
to tell the kid, hey, tell your dad to call me. And
well, no,
not
that
in
was Camilla. Oh, Camilla's the one that said, "Tell your dad to call Daisy," and said,
oh,
Daisy,
that's right.
call
Yeah, because you
Billy.
showed her the
Like,
video.
that was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell your dad to call Daisy and tell Daisy to answer the damn phone.
Yeah.
That's what it was, yeah.
If anything, they still owe me a song. Like, ugh. And
Yeah.
when you're watching all
I
the
was
interviews,
fine until they got to that. If anything, tell them they still owe me a damn song. I was like, oh,
crying.
God damn it. Here we go.
Right. And just that last sequence of Billy knocking on the door and Daisy answering and them both smiling.
So beautiful. And that's how the book
Anything
ends,
beyond
too.
that would have been wasted film, and just
Agreed.
yeah, it was just a beautiful ending, because play it out in your head however you want to play it out, right? But it ended how it needed to end, and the story was closed at that point, and that's just great storytelling.
And they both knew, I think Daisy especially realized that if and he even says this later too, if they had stayed together, they would have burned each other to the ground. Like, they would have ruined each other, because they were both broken. And when he's drunk and he's like, Daisy, let's be broken together, that's when she's like, has her realization, I don't want to be broken. And then you see after the show, Simone and Teddy are getting her into rehab. Like, and I love too that she says, she basically owes everything she has to Camilla. Like, Camilla was her biggest cheerleader, despite her suspicions, despite knowing what she knew. She says she envisioned a life for me that I couldn't have thought of for myself. And it's like,
Yep.
Yeah, like, Camilla's the reason for so much of everything. And it killed me when, you see all the interviews with her, and obviously looks different. She's older with the hair ever, and then you realize she's sick and she's wearing a wig and she starts straightening. That's when I started crying. I was like, oh man. And I think the thing that made it all okay for me, because obviously it's a lot of drama and it's a lot of back and forth and whatever, is that Billy really did love Camilla.
Oh,
he
absolutely.
loved Daisy too, but he really loved his wife. Like, he wasn't just staying with her because he felt like he had to. He really loved her. They had an amazing life together. Unfortunately, she passes away, and now him and Daisy are in such different places in their lives that they can reconnect, and it ended beautifully.
And that's one of those rockumentary tropes, I think, that Chris was getting to back in the beginning of the show, was how easy would it have been for them to literally, okay, fine, Billy leaves Camilla, gets together with Daisy, and they live happily ever after creatively,
but that wouldn't happen.
They go on to become the biggest rock band in the world, but that's generally how Hollywood stories like this are written.
Right.
They're not written in the fashion of understanding the fact that if Billy and Daisy had been together and ran off together, or quote unquote lived happily ever after, they would have. You think they imploded now? They would have imploded big time.
Yeah.
Personally, professionally, and all of that, had they been knocking boots.
Well, I know we need to do our reviews, but I think before we do that, we've got to talk about the music. I can't believe we haven't talked about this yet.
Yeah, we're almost an hour and a half into the damn show, and we not even remotely have even come close to talking about how great the music is in this movie or series.
I am not a fan of most 70s music, most 70s style music, because honestly, it's just not good. Yeah, you heard me. I said it. Disco still sucks. I'm not going to turn the beat around. None
But
of
we're
that
not
shit.
talking about disco. We're talking about 70s rock, 70s folk. What like that surprises
America,
me that you don't like
Pop,
any of that.
Papa
the
Palpatine is
band
not
is
going to
fucking
turn.
trash.
Papa Palpatine is not going to turn the beat around, but he's going to beat the turnaround.
Not a fan of most 70s music, but the music in Daisy Jones and the Six, the music of the band is timeless.
Yeah.
Right. It's tight storytelling. It's not overproduced. It feels like it was made in a 70s level style
Mhm.
studio with a 70s ish generation mixing board, right?
Yeah.
So it's not overproduced. It's not synthesized. There's no goddamn drum machine, thank God.
Mhm.
It's timeless music that just really, really works. And it's like they consciously took time out to highlight almost every instrument except for the poor keyboards at some point
Yeah.
on the album. I don't know what I have about the album yet, probably because I don't buy many albums. But
Oh, well,
start to
I
finish,
have it.
it's got so many great tracks.
Yeah.
So many great tracks.
And they definitely embody a lot of the sound of Fleetwood Mac without sounding just like them.
Right. They decided to go their own way.
Definitely in Honeycomb, Look at Us Now, there is a section in that is very, very similar to a section of The Chain. But that was like the biggest, really like close correlation I got. Other than that, it was just like it's a similar style, but it's not like, ripping off Fleetwood Mac.
Mhm.
The song "The River" almost reminds me of the band from Almost Famous.
Oh, Stillwater.
Yeah. But not in a bad way.
Dog. Okay, sorry. One of my
But the
favorites.
River is a great track. They're
yeah.
Honeycomb's a great track. Kill You to Try. Oh man,
Yeah.
amazing fucking track. So yeah, the
Bratty.
music of that, and then all the era music they brought in for the show.
Yes. Yeah.
So they gave you that 70s feel without making you want to turn the beat around, which was great.
Turn
Again,
the
not a
Beat
fan of most
Around
of the
isn't
music.
even a 70s song.
It's still fucking disco, so shut the fuck up.
Hey, at least it's not
salsa.
number 8.
Gloria Estefan.
Well, Mark Watney says it's disco, so it's disco.
Okay.
And it's not ranked number 8, so
Exactly. So,
Turn the Beat Around is a disco song written by Gerald Jackson and Peter Jackson, performed by American actress and singer Vicky Sue Robinson in 1976, also known as Suck It.
so Gloria Estefan and the Sound Machine remade it or redid it. Okay. All right. Fair enough. You know
beat
what?
the
I
turnaround.
knew that because I remember the original one now. Okay. So for people who have been following along recently, again, with the SIP list being on break, we have decided to incorporate top 5s in our episodes. However, Casey and I forgot about it this week. So I just did one on the fly. If anybody, well, Chris said no because he doesn't like Fleetwood Mac, but I basically just said I would name my top 5 favorite songs between Daisy Jones and Fleetwood Mac. So this is just off the top of my head, but
yeah, I was gonna say I don't have a list prepared, so because I spaced everything off. But Amanda is more than welcome to share what she put together with our listeners and all of that. So the floor is yours, co-host.
All right. Well, I tried to keep it as even as possible with only 5, but for 5, I did Let Me Down Easy from Daisy Jones and the Six. I really like that song a lot. Their harmonizing on it is so beautiful. Number 4, Rhiannon, Fleetwood Mac. Freaking love that song. 3, Regret Me. Go ahead and regret me, but I'm beating you to it, dude. And the way she looks at him, oh man, that song is so beautiful. Okay. Where am I at?
Number 2.
Wait, 1, 2, 3.
Number
4. Oh,
eight.
I wrote down 6. I'm an idiot. That's why I'm like, okay. Well, then fine, we're
Shocker.
doing 6. Next one is The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. Oh, God.
At
The
least you didn't
drum.
write down 8.
Yeah. What? All right.
I said at least you didn't write down 8.
Womp womp. Next one is Honeycomb, Look at Us Now, which is like, I think, sort of the theme song of the show. And then it's funny
Mhm.
because Billy doesn't want to sing it anymore. And I love when Daisy's like, there would be no tour without me, you idiot. And then Landslide has to be my number 1. I know it's, one of their most famous songs, but Landslide is, ugh. And it hits so different when you're a parent. Oh my God. Okay.
I love that list. I would put Landslide lower because of how many bad covers there are.
I don't
Almost.
know, because I like the Smashing Pumpkins and the Dixie Chicks versions of that.
Billy
the Chiefs.
Corrigan should not be allowed to sing his fucking ABCs.
Okay, that's fair, but
I mean, he's
Dixie
like
Chicks
monotone
cover is
Cartman,
good.
for fuck's sake.
I
Aw.
think we may have found somebody that Papa Palpatine likes less than Eddie Vedder.
No, Eddie Vedder is like a Muppet that has another Muppet hood on top of his face.
Well,
And
first of
is
all,
broken.
don't be making fun of Muppets. They haven't done anything to you.
Okay, that's fair. True.
And, yeah, I hate them both equally, right? Because Eddie Vedder can't enunciate a goddamn. Well, to rephrase that, he'll enunciate like 3 words to make you think he knows what he can know how to sing,
Yeah.
and then he changes
And
your
it's
mind.
just noise.
Whereas Billy Corrigan is monotone as fuck, sounds like a dial tone, and has the stage presence of a microphone stand.
He's not monotone
He's monotone as
all the
fuck.
time. Okay.
Okay, maybe in an interview he's not, but singing he sure as shit is.
Bullet
So,
with butterfly
Getting
wings is a
louder does not make
monotone?
you not monotone.
Okay.
So to compensate for the fact that I don't have a top 5 list to share, I'm going to ask Papa Palpatine's opinion on this. But one of the shows in the network, aka Masturbators, has been doing an alternative music bracket,
Mhm.
and the championship matchup has been revealed and voted on, with it being the number 1 "Smells Like Teen Spirit" by Nirvana versus, Amanda, would you like to share what the other
Let me
option was?
guess. Wonderwall.
No.
Yes, it was Wonderwall.
No, it wasn't. I thought it was.
No, it was not Broken Down Chevy Nova.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was Wonderwall.
Okay, if I have to pick between "Hey Man, Nice Shot" and "No
God
Aces,"
damn it.
I'm gonna go with Nerdvana for the simple fact of they were at least quasi groundbreaking, although their drummer will admit to stealing everything from disco songs. He has. It's in multiple interviews.
I was going to say, I've seen numerous interviews just in the last year alone where he's admitted to ripping off.
And I respect that, right? I respect the fact that he's like, no, I'm a shit drummer. I stole this from this and this from this and this from this. I respect the fuck out of that, right? But when you realize what you're talking about is a quasi cover band versus we think we're the Beatles, but we can't spell Beatles, I'm gonna have to pick Nirvana, which is really the difference between a turd burger and a shit sandwich.
You know, I had to take the opportunity to bring up Oasis and have Papa Palpatine rip Oasis a new asshole.
Whatever.
Hold on, I wasn't gentle to either of them. Like, I think I said more negative things about the band I voted for, which is Nirvana, and I believe I did vote when it was put up. because "Smells Like Teen Spirit" is a better song and is more foundational for a musical movement that I'm
Yeah.
glad is dead, than anything Lame and his brother put out.
Lame.
And
Right.
also,
Uh,
a retort I didn't get to when we talked about 90s albums, Amanda, and
Yeah.
you mentioned that Oasis's second album is a better sophomore effort than Purple by STP. I'm wondering, how the fuck was their first album worse than What's the Story, Morning Glory?
Shut up. What's the Story? Morning Glory is one of the best albums. I love it.
I mean, if the lyrics were on foreplay, I'd use it.
Well, somehow Liam
You gotta have me on more often, bro.
Liam and the band separately both have albums coming out on Record Store Day. One's a live album for Oasis, and the other one's an acoustic album for Liam.
You could probably notch them to cut them in half, glue them together, and they sound the exact same.
Whatever. I'm going to try to get the live album. So my thing with Record
I'm
Store Day
hoping
is
for the Dead album.
I really try to get live albums when I can. Like last year, I got and it was a Record Store Day exclusive, Live at the Blue Note, Nat King Cole, and it's fucking
nice.
amazing. So I really try to buy live because there's usually a lot of good live stuff released on Record Store Day. So that's like my favorite stuff to get. So
I did get the although I still haven't got a record player set up, I did get the Record Store Day version of American Standard by 7 Mary 3 a couple years ago.
ooh.
Yeah.
You should look at this year's list. There's some really good stuff on it. My wish list is like, I got to cut it down.
I found a copy of Prince Purple Rain on LP that I bought that I don't remember buying.
Oh, I have that.
I've got.
I have my mom's version from the 80s.
Nice. I've got STP Core around here somewhere. You know, their first album, which is still better than
anything Oasis.
Oasis' first album.
Whatever. Fleetwood Mac is doing another picture disc this year. So last year they did a picture disc of Rumors, and this year they're doing I think it's their third album, which is just self-titled. And it's also going to be a picture disc. So I got to get that. There's a lot of good shit for Record Store Day this year.
I need to pick up the Master of Puppets LP too.
Oh, yeah. Everything just sounds better on vinyl.
You know, no, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Yes,
it doesn't.
Okay, it doesn't, but it's unique and I like it.
Okay, I will give you that. But it's much less depth of sound because they have to detune the bass so it doesn't make the record skip.
Yeah. All right, we ready?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are my facts inconveniencing you?
Well, that's why I don't buy rap albums on vinyl. Although they do have a Best of Biggie that I kind of wanted to get, but I have Eminem on vinyl, and yeah, it's not.
You know, there are other genres that use bass, right?
I know.
Oh no, you don't because you're a Swiftie.
Fuck you! Like seriously.
Oh.
I just told you I'm buying Nat King Cole and Fleetwood Mac and Eminem. Like obviously my taste is diverse.
And I just want to point out your number one Chiefty thing. You know where Taylor grew up, right?
Yes.
And what team she grew up as a fan of?
Yes.
And what team she was revving before she got a boyfriend or this
well,
boyfriend?
I'm assuming she's rooting for the guy she's fucking now. So
right, but if she wasn't, she'd be all like, "Fly Eagles, fly, bitches."
Yeah, that's fair.
So
bandwagon.
With all of that said, tomorrow, because of the live, is the big day. By the time this releases, yesterday was the big day. So congratulations to the winner of yesterday's game. But we'll go with Papa Palpatine first, although I know it's the obvious. Who are we picking to win the 2025 Lombardi Trophy?
Fly Eagles, fly, baby. Saquon goes up for a 175 and 2 TDs.
I swear to God, if he pulls off 175 and 2 TDs, there'll be no living with him the rest of our lives.
Yeah. I mean, I think obviously I'm going to, root for the Chiefs because I don't really have a dog in this race. but I'll root for the Chiefs because of Taylor and Travis. But it's about who you're rooting for. The Vegas spread's like what, 1.5? It's like
1.5 to
very,
1,
very
depending on what
small.
sportsbook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
the game is
who
so
knows?
close to call. Like I hope Philly wins, but man, this game is so tight. It's so close.
Yeah.
And when you look at the breakdowns, man, when you look
As
at one
long
set
as
of
it's a
numbers
good
that
game,
says
I don't
Philly,
care.
oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, I mean, it's going to be a
If
good game of KC because they can't win in any fashion besides fuck heartbreak.
I swear to God, if it comes down to a bad call by a freaking official, I'm gonna freaking lose my damn shit because
I'm really
I'm
hoping it comes down to Harrison Butker missing a field goal because fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I can't stand him at all. But yeah, if it comes down to a bad call by a freaking official, I'm gonna lose my shit because I am over the whole freaking conspiracy theory that the refs are in cahoots with each other and fixing games for the Chiefs and protecting Patrick Mahomes and blah 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 and all that.
I mean, it could just be that they're playing really good football. I mean, it's like the government. There's always shit going on behind the scenes we don't know about, and it's probably not all above board. But at the end of the day, you can't deny that either team or anyone, I mean, even when the Patriots, when everyone's like they're cheating or this or that or whatever, they're still at the end of the day playing solid, really good football, regardless of what the refs are doing.
Well, and honestly, I think the NFL is like any other sport where you've got referees. Superstar calls happen. I mean, happens all the time in the NBA.
I mean, LeBron.
Yeah, Shea
Michael
Gilgeous-Alexander is getting calls this
Michael
year. He wasn't
Jordan.
getting earlier this year, right?
Yeah.
That superstars get certain calls that other players don't get, and I think that KC has been the beneficiary of that on multiple occasions, but they're not the only beneficiary of that. I think that sometimes that they get the advantage of the ticky-tack calls, but if you look at all however many regular season games we've had this year, everybody has benefited from a ticky-tack call at one point or another. I just think that it's magnified for the Chiefs because they're one of the big teams
Prominently out there.
Yeah, exactly. So I think
And
they get disproportionately more airtime, so they get disproportionately more.
Right, wrong, or indifferent, it's because of who their number one fan is.
it's haters.
Well,
gonna
and they've
hate.
won a lot of
Like
fucking
that.
games in the last 5 years.
Yeah, they
Well, and
very easily could have not only been playing for a three-peat tomorrow, but playing for a three-peat in a perfect season as well because they won that much.
Yeah,
They lost what, one game this year?
2, but one of them was
Okay,
week
2.
18 when they benched everybody and got blown out by the Broncos.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz. But yeah, they could have easily.
And everybody bitched about because, oh my God, they're freaking screwing so and so out of going to the playoffs when they deserve to go. Well, if they deserve to go, they should have won more games and
Yeah.
shut up. They're not.
Okay, yeah,
weren't doing anything that nobody else has done.
I will agree that nobody wanted to see the Bengals in the playoffs. Nobody wanted to face that team in the playoffs because of how explosive that offense was. But at the same time, I can assure you that Andy Reid gives zero fucks about who else goes into the tournament.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. And hi,
as a
Caleb.
long-term Philly fan, I am a massive Andy Reid fan. I'm a massive Steve Spagnuolo fan. And neither of those two guys gives two shits about who's on the other side of the field.
Well, here's the thing. We as people, and I hate this about us. I don't know why this is a thing. I think it maybe boils down to, self-consciousness, to, whatever negative feelings we might have. We as a species love to build people up just to fucking tear them down. And so we love to see people win until we don't. And then it's like, oh, they suck. They're cheating. It's this, it's that. And it's like, no, I mean, I'll even use LeBron. I can't stand that guy mostly because of he does get a lot of calls his way. He bitches and whines, whatever. But also you got to think about how much people built him up and now how much people tear him down. And the same thing has happened with Taylor Swift. And that's what's happening with the Chiefs. That's a thing that we do as people. And I don't know why we do it, but people love to hate on other successful people, teams, groups, whatever. It's really annoying.
There's like a
It
to
is.
success. Like you're allowed to be successful to a point,
Until
and
we're
then
tired
you're
of you.
successful. Yeah, right, right.
Yeah. Until
Uh,
we're tired of hearing your name. And then it's just like, yeah. So
Well, no, because everybody loved the Patriots when they first started, but then 4 championships later, the hate started, and Spygate, and Deflategate, and Brady this, and Belichick that, and
it's like you want people to win and be successful, but then when they do it too much, it's like, oh, give somebody else a chance. Well, no, somebody else should play harder and do better if they want to have the chance. It's like it may not be an even playing field. I'm sure it's not, but for the most part, sports is about actually playing sports. It's not all about the politics. And if you want a seat at the table, you got to work for it. Everybody
right.
can't be number one. Like that's why it's competition.
And the reason why I'm tired of seeing the camera switch to Taylor Swift is not that I dislike Taylor Swift, right? I have zero opinions one way or another about her fucking music, right? And as a person, I think she's a good person from what I've seen and read, right? I think she's an amazing human being. But it's like the other 100 some odd guys don't have a wife or girlfriend. Like the only human interest story that the press can get onto is Taylor Swift. When there's all sorts of other great stories in the NFL.
I mean, you know that the NFL is doing that because it benefits them. They're showing.
Well, it's not even the NFL. It's the fucking networks trying to get clicks and trying to get views.
Yeah, that too. I mean, they're showing her less, which I think she probably asked for. But right. I mean, before she was there, it was all about Britney. And now it's like, okay, we can show somebody else instead of Britney. But yeah, I mean, you're right. But Taylor is going to get the most clicks, the most online views, the most television views. And to be fair, she has brought a whole new subset of people to the NFL that have stayed regardless and would,
And honestly, I came to her defense earlier in the season, people ripping her for not going on road games. And when she gave the reason why, I'm like, that makes total sense. You know, you got to protect yourself. So
yeah, it's the security.
If you don't want to have to mess with security at 8 other stadiums, I get it. And I support that.
Yeah, and, I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, she's arguably the most famous person on the planet right now, or not arguably. Yeah, and as many people love her, there are almost as many that just want to hate her for no reason. And so, yeah, you've got to protect yourself. Her security can't be, you got to think about, they can't have access to just go in and run all these drills, all these things to make sure she gets from point A to point B. Like, and to her credit, she probably thinks that's not fair to other people.
Oh, for sure.
Think about the amount of chaos you're causing by being in a certain place and your security and all that, how it's affecting other people. So she's conscious of that, you know?
After watching and reading stories about how well she treats her road crew on tours and how massive the bonuses she gives out are, right? She cares about her people. And it's easier to have a conversation once or twice with the chief security staff and the NFL security staff about 8+ games in KC every year than it is to talk to however many security staff she has to talk to on top of everything else she's got going on in life.
Yeah.
So I support the fact that she doesn't want to inconvenience herself and or other people.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's not just about her.
Emphasis on the other people by going to road games. And, you know, when people drug her for that, I'm like, come on, people. Now you're just fucking trying too hard.
Well, she has her own fucking life. And yeah, I think she went to one game in LA, but that's because her security knows SoFi Stadium pretty well because she's played there several times. So it's like, okay, but still, yeah. I too, if I were her and it was an away game, I feel like I wouldn't want the attention taken off the home team being given to me. Which, you know, on TV, it's not really about that, but it kind of is. Like, I
and it's not her fault that the camera keeps switching to her 7 times a game or whatever, right? And I'm not blaming her for that. I'm blaming the freaking media for it.
Yeah. And that's why I get mad when people blame her. And we don't, first of all, they're not interrupting plays to show you Taylor Swift, okay? Second of all, your daughters can hear you when you say that shit. And third, she has no fucking control over it. Like, don't get mad at her. Get mad at the NFL. Get mad at the networks. Like,
so me screaming at the networks is, hey guys, there's cool stories with so many different players' wives and mothers and partners that Man, focus on some of them sometimes. You know,
But
like Saquon
again-
Barkley recently got engaged to his mother of 2 children. They're
Yeah.
not going to show her during the game.
No.
Well, but here's the other thing, and don't get mad at me. I think you guys would probably agree with me. This is mostly a middle-aged man's problem, and probably specifically white men, because they're not bitching about Jack Nicholson and Spike Lee at basketball games. They're not bitching about Eminem at Detroit games. They're not bitching about any other celebrities being shown. And yes, Taylor might be shown a little bit more, but I can't name a single Laker game I've ever watched in the past that Jack Nicholson wasn't there and they weren't showing him, or a Knicks game where they weren't showing Spike Lee. They're not bitching about that, but they're bitching about a successful woman being shown because they don't like to see that.
As a middle-aged white man, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're not that kind of middle-aged white man, and neither is Casey. So that's why I feel comfortable
No.
saying that.
I know he's getting older though, so
I know. He's about to be
you're
old
not-
age.
he's like 48 now. Fuck.
He's about to be Medicare eligible.
Neither of the two of you fuckers are very far behind me, so I don't want to
Very
hear
true.
Yes,
Very
but we're behind you, and that's all that matters.
That is all that matters.
it. I don't feel like want to be the steam engine in this locomotive, but choo choo motherfucker.
Yep, you'll be the first
So-
one with the AA hard R P card.
Yeah, it's coming in
because I
2
have
years.
to pee. I'm about to pee my pants.
Okay, so really quick, so that was 1 Eagles, 1 Chiefs, and again, like Amanda, I really don't have a horse in the race, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick history being made and go for the 3-peat, and I'll say Kansas City, but I still think it's gonna be a close game.
Yeah,
So,
I just want a good game. I hope the Chiefs win, but I'm not gonna. Mostly because I want the coverage of Taylor and Travis, honestly, and the 3-peat would be cool. But yeah,
so,
I don't care.
But
so do we
the
want
last
to?
time Philly had a defensive back go into the Hall of Fame, they won the Super Bowl.
True,
Oh.
And my boy Eric Allen got the knock.
true. So, really quick, so Amanda can go pee. Do we want to give a ranking for the series out of 5?
Yes. Sorry, I had road noise.
Palpatine, you want to go first?
Yeah, I just want to say, Lisa, we're not picking on the old people, just Casey.
Yeah.
I respect my elders, except for Casey.
Brandy can kiss
So-
my ass too.
I was unprepared for this one, so I don't have a witty score.
1 plus 1
Um,
plus 2 plus 1.
Yeah, although
That's fine.
I believe I deserve icon status for my top ratings in the history of
That's
this
fair.
show. Just
We
saying.
I
ever
mean,
get Chris an icon
I'm
yet?
No,
well. Okay, pause for the
That's my
cause in the ratings. I think we do need. It didn't take much convincing to convince me
No,
of it.
he needs a set. No, don't do it now. He needs his own separate episode. That's not cool.
all right.
Okay.
We'll get
Yeah.
to that. We'll get to that. So my
We'll
rating.
get back to that. We will be coming back soon with a Papa Palpatine and a Gene episode in the near future. So we'll address it.
In honor of the earliest scene of this show, I'm going to give this 4.5 rage quits.
Nice. Yeah. I don't have a really good one either. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 snorts of coke. 0 notes. The show is perfection. The music is perfection. I love everything about it. And I highly
Yeah.
North
recommend.
Coke, you couldn't have gone with Booger Sugar or Colombian Bam Bam or
I'm not that witty.
Fat Lines of Blow.
You've known this woman
Fat
for how many
lines
years?
of blow.
There you go. Maybe you should start sending this to me so I can write them for you.
Good point. Maybe I should start doing blow and then I'd have better names for it.
Probably.
No.
Well, I got it through high school. Oh, sorry.
All right, I'm gonna go. I agree with Amanda. I don't recall anything about the show that I absolutely hated. I'm gonna go 5 out of 5 times that you can go your own way.
Nice. Well done, sir.
So, shout out
Very
to
nice.
the band that the series is based on, but not based on. So, but yay, this was a lot of fun.
Yes.
I want to thank everybody for being here each and every week. You guys are awesome. We appreciate all the love and support. Thank you, Chris, for being here on short notice.
Happy birthday, happy anniversary.
Happy birthday, happy anniversary, all of that noise. Really quick, would you like to let the amazing listeners know where they can find you,
Me or Chris?
Chris? Well, they
Well, you can
never
catch
know
these
they can
hands
find
at-
you.
Yeah, they know where
Sorry,
to find me.
So I host the One Step Paintball podcast, where we talk about the sport, the history, and the culture of the great game of paintball. You can find me on Spotify, Apple, and other places I can't remember the name right now. We're on a short hiatus while I work on some new episode ideas. But if you ever want to learn anything about the great sport of paintball, check us out.
Woo!
And I will second the fact that it is an amazing show. I have listened to virtually every episode and can attest to its greatness. Coming up on an evening at the movies, we are back to rom-coms for the rest of the month, and then early in March we will have the Twinges back, as we will be celebrating the birthday of the great Jennifer Higgins and discussing Harry Potter and the Half Blood Prince. I had to freaking pause for a cause there for a second to make sure I could remember which one we were on. It's been a while, but
It has been a minute.
we will definitely be back next week with either Forgetting Sarah Marshall or Fever Pitch or The Wedding Singer, either one. I don't know what the order's going to be. We're trying to get Kendra back for an episode as well. So just stay tuned on the social medias and we will keep you updated as to what's coming and in what order it's coming in. So
Also known as 3 movies I've never seen.
I didn't figure you had. So, co-host, you want to take us home?
Forgetting Sarah Marshall? You would laugh at Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I think you would like it.
Uh-huh.
Seriously. Okay.
Wow. Co-host, would you like to take us home so you can go empty your bladder?
Yes. Thanks everybody for supporting us for 4 years, and we hope you keep staying with us. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and please come back for an evening at the movies. Goodbye.
Hashtag free Chancy Greif.